How was it easy?
Yeah, it was a good day. I've had some 2-3 meetings before this interview. So it is good day as of now.
Did you find any trouble reaching my space?
No. Not at all.
That's what I'm surprised because usually he stays in such a corner that we all find trouble going there.
Yes. I have been in this area. So
Alright.
I could come down easily.
Cool. No.
Yeah.
So, welcome. My name is Tanani Burade, and on behalf of FitSpace, I'll be taking this today's session. And as we all know that we have been already already well in the chemistry background. So my first curiosity was like chemistry से robotics तक कैसे गए?
Yeah. So to start with my journey, I completed my master's in chemistry in 2017. Even about that and majorly after that, I had been working with different kinds of NGOs with different people for their health issues, for education issues. I had been in all this stuff. So right from the beginning of my college education, we can say, I have been involved with many people and it was my passion. Chemistry was, of course, a passion, and I wanted to pursue something in chemistry in terms of research, in terms of lab work and all. But there was something beating me inside that I should do something for the society which will have direct results. And that drew me more towards this robotics and all. Yeah.
Okay, that is nice. We've also been informed that you've been working in social sector for 5 years almost. So what exactly are you focusing on social sectors?
Yeah. So as I mentioned in the previous question, I have been very curious to work with different kinds of people, to help them out, to reach out them. I think every youngster in society is keen to work for the society. It is a very good signature. So in my point was, so I had been working with many people, many NGOs during my college days, and I found it very amazing and to work with different students, to work for their problems, to understand their problems, and to try that I should be of some or the other help to all these students. So I was working with different students, and after my education, I decided that this part-time work is not sufficient, and I should dedicate some part of my life for this social cause. And then I started working with some NGOs which were not at all relevant with my career field. But then I went to a village in Kolhapur. I had been there for 2 years. Post that, I had been in Pune for 2-3 years. And I worked with different sectors. I had been in a COVID care center for around 8 to 9 months. I had been a volunteer there. So I liked that activities. All of us like activities. But just a small difference was, usually I tried to give my maximum time to work I write. So after my education, I decided that some part of life I'll definitely spare only for this purpose. And that is how I turned towards the social cause.
That's great. So you had a lot of things on your plate that time.
Perfect.
Cool, nice. So to begin with the first question, it is, what is the story behind the creation of your company, and what problem or opportunity did you identify that led you to this point?
Yes. So this 5 years journey in the social cause drew me towards the ground realities of society, more in greater detail, we can say. I have been interacting with around 5 to 10,000 students during my college life and post that. And I always was very curious, especially when I went to the villages of India, to the rural parts of India, that many students are on their brighter side. They're very bright children, except in their studies. So I always found that why is this the case? These students perform very well in their games. These students perform very well during their daily chores. They do everything very well. But when it comes to studies, especially when it comes to science and mathematics, they find it very boring. They find it very something that they do not like to have. And that is something which kept on triggering me that I should be looking into this issue. And when I stopped in the social cause, I mean in the full-time journey, and when I came back to my own journey, I started to pursue some career kind of thing. I thought, let us dig down to this problem itself. So I interacted with some school teachers, I interacted with the students in greater detail to understand their knowledge, understand their problem. And the basic problem which came to my mind was, when we say that students learn different kinds of games, they learn it by doing. When we say students learn different kind of co-curricular activities, they learn it by doing. Even if we say cooking, dancing, acting, anything you take it, swimming, any games, it comes when they learn by doing, not through the textbook. But pathetically, in our current system, what they learn in education is through textbooks, through the theory that teacher teaches them. And coincidentally, in 2020, we know the new education policy came into existence. The National Education Policy 2020 came into existence. And when I was reading through that National Education Policy, all the experts who were the part of committee made a special emphasis on this point, that experiential learning should be a part and parcel of students' upbringing. And that is something which struck my mind. And I started working in this domain. So I decided that why not choose a career opportunity in the same problem that I'm targeting since 2-3 years, I suppose. So that was the starting point for my entrepreneurship journey in this domain.
That is actually a great thought, because being a student, like I was a student, so I've been through all this. Practically, you have to put समझ में नहीं आता है, you have no knowledge about it.
Right.
Practically करोगे,
Correct.
goes it vanishes out from your brain after something.
Exactly.
That is the meaning word. That is the movie that clicked when you were explaining about your journey in knowing.
Correct.
Nice. So that is actually a very, the root cause, and you can see the transformation, jo last of the video. So that is the cause. So that is very quick to do that. The next question that we had is, can you discuss the role of technology and innovation in your company's growth and development?
Yes, it is quite an amazing question for me as well, because as we all know, and as we all are experiencing it, there is a huge transformation in all the aspects of society, especially society before 2019 and society post 2022. 2019 to 2022, these 3 years have been transformational for our society in all the terms. And COVID has boosted that transformation, I suppose. हमारे ज़माने में बच्चों को 12th फर्स्ट ईयर तक मोबाइल हाथ में कभी कभार मिलता था. अब 6th स्टैंडर्ड के स्टूडेंट्स भी मोबाइल लेके ही घूमते हैं.
Exactly.
And we find this in all the sections of the country, may it be the urban parts, may it be the rural parts. So the technology has reached not only mobile, but all the technology. Mobile is just an example. All this technology has reached these students from all the sections of the society. And if it has reached the students, it has reached their families and the society as a whole. So yes, technology is very important aspect. We see, especially in education, in the domain that I am working, many people are very curious and very tense also, that how will this technology be harmful for the upbringing of this generation. But I feel this is something which cannot be challenged or it cannot be changed. There are many people complaining about these things, that बच्चे दिन भर मोबाइल में पड़े रहते हैं, कंप्यूटर में पड़े रहते हैं, but at the same time they have to provide the phones, the laptops to their students for better studies. So as a society now, we should think how all these assets should be used for a better cause. We cannot disconnect them from the students, but we can definitely encourage more and more involvement of students for a good cause. जैसे कई सारे प्लेटफॉर्म अभी आए हैं जो बच्चों को अच्छे कुछ कंटेंट देते हैं. जो बच्चा सीखने के लिए हज़ारों रुपए खर्च करके जाता था, अभी वो कंटेंट उसको फ्री में अवेलेबल है. So this is a boon which the technology has given. So yes, in our company as well, we are trying to involve more and more technology. We are trying to design new games and new methods using the hardware and the software. Technology plays more in the software part, and yes, in the hardware part, many resources and accessories are available, and we are designing newer ones. So we are trying to bridge a gap between the hardware and software, a hybrid platform where the students will use the technology for a better cause. So that is how we are looking at the technology. It is a useful thing for the coming generation.
Of course, completely agree, because technology is just you have this you have multiple advantages as well. And if you look towards the advantages, then disadvantages can be over.
Exactly. I had been reading an article which mentioned in detail about this technology. They surveyed different kinds of countries, especially the tier 1, tier 2 countries all over the globe. And they were looking into this. So what they mentioned is if the technology is given or is provided without heart, then that technology is useless. It is a curse. But if it is provided with heart, I mean the involvement of the trainers, the faculties, then it is of course a boon for the society. So this is how I suppose the journey will go ahead.
Definitely, because then you have a guiding hand over you to guide, and then to tell you that you should be using it in this way and not in that way.
How to use
That
that is the crucial.
how to use it. So that helps. The next one that we have is, so dealing with all of this, you must be getting a lot of stress, and then the stress, sometimes that it makes mistakes and then things happen, they don't go exactly the way you want. So how do you handle the stress and uncertainty that often come with entrepreneurship, and how do you maintain your motivation and passion for you?
Correct. So I think in entrepreneurship journey, as Bitspace, you guys have also started it in the last 6 months, and you are great building it. So my compliments for that. And we all know that entrepreneurship is something which comes along with the stress, the related works. We have some deadlines to push. We don't have money, and all these problems are pushing us. But interestingly, I came into meeting with Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai last week, and he mentioned a great word. I have also mentioned it on my LinkedIn profile. His words were, "Don't aim big, aim biggest." That is what he said, and that is something very motivating for entrepreneurs, especially like us. And not exactly in that words, but that is something which pushes me in my entrepreneurship journey. I always try to aim big. I always try to keep my goal in mind, the goal of making a transformation in the society in terms of education. So we have, coincidentally or fortunately, at the current position, if we see, the society as a whole is ready for this change. And if we waste this time, then this position will never come. In terms of education, in terms of societal transformation, we as a nation are at a different end as of now. So I always try to trigger myself to target that goal, that this is the point when the society is ready for the transformation, and all of us have to do our best to help in that process. Or else I always remember of that story that there was a football match and one team won in it. But one player of the winner team was crying, and he was sitting at one end and he was crying. So someone asked him that, "Why are you crying, bro? Your team has won." So he said, "I know my team has won, but I did not hit a single ball in the entire match." So that is something which always keeps triggering me, that all the transformation is going in fast speed. And if I decide to quit from this journey for any kind of reason, for there may be stress, maybe lack of money, maybe anything, but I would be something like that player who would not participate in the entire transformation process. And I don't want to be that. So this is something which keeps triggering me, and to overcome all the tension, all the burdens of the work that we always face as entrepreneur. Yeah, that's it.
That's nice. We as a business team, we are definitely getting tips from this, that how to manage our stress and those situations that, so we are getting tips from this thing. The next one that we have is, so when you got an entrepreneur, the business stuff. So you have how to maintain strong relationships with investors and stakeholders, because they play a very important part in your businesses.
Yes.
So how do you maintain that?
Yes. So how I look to it is a different perspective a bit. So in terms of investors also, there are two typical kind of investors. Those are the ones who invest some kind of money, and they just want returns out of it. They are not interested in your business. and some are the people who are interested in your cause and they help you with the money. So I always prefer second kind of investors who are interested in your goal. Yeah, money is definitely a cause. If they are investing in you, they definitely envision that you will give them sizable returns, and that sizable in industry is 5x, 10x. So that comes along definitely. But as entrepreneur, something very, very, very important for you is what I feel is the impact that you are creating in the society. Money comes along with it. So I always try to find mentors. I always try to find the investors who have this goal, this vision in mind, who align in my vision of transforming the society. And yes, when it comes to keeping the relations, I always like to keep them posted with the current things, what we are doing. I usually interact with them in every 15, 20 days, one-to-one call, not in a meeting kind of thing. And that is something which helps me or my business to keeping the relations with them. When they are very confident about you as an entrepreneur, because you must have experience that any investor, at least in early journey, invests on the founder, on the founding team. He does not invest on the business. He just looks into that how mature, how dreamer the founder is, how capable the founder is, and he invests in you. So if you keep that point in mind and you keep to maintain the relations with him, if you keep good interactions with him, even if you share the worst part of the journey with him and try to make a good positive relation with him. You see, investors are majorly the ones who have had their entrepreneurship journey. There are very few who come along only with money. Majority of them have gone through all this cycle. So they understand that entrepreneurship journey is not easy. One day you come along with something, the next day you come along with an absolutely different thing. You just scrap around the initial thought. So all this happens in the journey, and investors are mature than us. They have had all this journey along. So if you do share with them in true sense, I think at least in my company, we are having a very good relations with them. And yes, the community as such is very supportive currently. In terms of money, definitely, as I mentioned earlier as well, they are very much into it. They want good returns, and that is definitely what they should want. Otherwise, if they won't trigger us, and our business will die if they do not keep us hanging. So that is very important part of their role as well. So we should accept it with good intentions that they are behind us for every aspect of the journey.
That's it. Even in schools and colleges also, teachers जब तक assignment, she won't ask you for the assignment, we will not do it. जब submission date आएगा, that is 2 days before that we'll start writing the assignment.
So this is everywhere you see that जब तक अब एक push नहीं मिलता तब तक बंदा काम नहीं करता. So keep the business why this is important.
Yeah. So like when you're starting your initial stage, so that is when you face a lot of problems, and one of it is company the further dissemination.
Right.
Because you are lately new to be an environment. You have no idea how it works. You just have some ideas in your mind that you have to execute, and yes, this thing is going to work. But then, how to gather a team, how to make team feel that we are working together, वो culture कैसे लाना जो company चलाती.
Correct. In my view, maybe I am a very early stage entrepreneur as of now to comment on this. But at least when I look at it, in my view, company culture is a part of your entire cultural process. So at least in India, when you are working in this domain, people try to be a part of a journey when they are confident about the journey, the phases of it. So when you take your team into confidence, when you share the insights with them, when you share your vision with them, and you spend your time on them, that is the time when they get involved into your journey. Again, there is one part of investors, there is one part of all these people. Investor को तो एटलीस्ट उसका पैसा दिख रहा है इसलिए वो मोटिवेटेड है. इन बंदों को तो कुछ नहीं है. इन बंदों को तो 9 से 5 लाइफ है, अच्छा पगार मिल रहा है, अच्छी सैलरी तनख्वाह मिल रही है, वो घर जाएंगे. इसके आगे अगर उनको मोटिवेट करना है then we have to think of something relation kind of thing, which we need to establish with them. And that definitely comes with the founding team. If the founding team is very strong on morals, at least in our company, we started our venture some 18 to 19 months ago, we can say. From that date till now, there has been only 1 month in my business when I could not pay salary to my guys on first day of that month. Otherwise, all the rest 16, 17 months, we had a culture, or we do maintain this culture, that we pay the salary to our guys on the first day of the month itself. So these are small things which keep you driven also. We as a founders, from 25th of every month, 25th day of every month, start digging into the things. Are we into our budgets? Because we have to make the salary of our employees. And employees are also confident. I'd be very happy to share this, that the month when we did not do the salaries on time, no one queried about it, nor no one even mentioned about it. They were so confident when we did the salaries. They said, sir, हमें पता था आप करेंगे, हमेशा यार सैलरी एक तारीख को होती है. So we know कभी कभी हो जाता है ऐसा. Even when we are a team of 4-5 people, they are very confident on us that we would let them go. We would manage some things. They are very confident on us as founding team. So I think when you target people more than your business is definitely a thing which you should target. You survive because of your business. But definitely for survival of business, good people around you are necessary. So if you take care of all these people, your business also grows, and they also take care of your company. As I said, I am very early bird in this journey. I have been through this for last 1.5 years around. And there is only a team of around 10 to 11 people for me. So I'm not the right guy to answer this, but because you answered this question and asked this question, I just shared my journey. Yeah.
That's nice. It's really nice. But then, sometimes such a situation comes up that your employee that you have hired is not a full-time employee for you. That employee also has some other things going around. Maybe he's just a mini dog, or she's just a fresher, just out of the college and looking forward, or an intern who has a college to look after as well.
Right.
Then how do you balance that college hours with your company requirements?
So basically what I think is, in corporate culture, what we call the job description. So that is something very important for every guy to set. As founders, we should have our own job description and that of our employees. Because when we expect what they can return, this problem arises in a lesser extent, I suppose. If we know that this guy is going to work only for 3 hours per day, then we should not work to him, which will be sufficient for that 3 hours. And which will be enough for that 3 hours. Both ways it is important. I mean, we give him some task which he will complete in 1.5 hours. Then he will get bored. He won't be a part of your community. As it is, he's spending 20 hours outside your community. He's just spending 3 hours with you. And even if you are not able to provide that 3 hours of work to him, he won't be a part of your team with all his energy. And if you are providing him some kind of work that he will need to have to spend 7 to 8 hours per day, which he is unable to spend, which he has already committed to you that I won't do this, then it will be again a different ballgame. He'll see that they try pushing me, which is not possible for me. And again, he won't be a part of your community with me. So to make a balance, to provide him sufficient work that he will enjoy also, and he won't feel the burden also. That is something which is very important. Usually in early phase startups, we also face this challenge. When we are a team of 7-8 people, we find many times that these structures are not that important. काम उतना important है. ये तो होते रहेगा, structure build होते रहेगा. But when we interact with many great entrepreneurs, they all share one common thing. They had same structure when they were a team of 2-3 people, and they have same rigid structure when they are a team of 20,000-30,000 people. Structure is something which helps in your growth. Many of us feel that structure will avoid our growth or it will slow down our growth. But believe me, structure will definitely fast track our growth. And that is something which will enhance the efficiency of all the employees, including that of ours.
Nice. All the points are noted.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move towards the last one. We have is what suggestion will you give for the upcoming generation?
Yeah. So again, as I mentioned earlier, I am not in that position as of now to give any suggestions because I am just a part of this upcoming journey. You never know. I'm just 1.5 years old as an entrepreneur. Maybe after 1 or 2 years, I would have vanished from this community. That point would never come, but just to say, I'll always be an entrepreneur. That is possible. But keeping that in mind, I'm no one to advise. I just share some of my insights which I connected during this journey. As entrepreneur, pushing yourself is always important because in job, one thing is always a great thing that your job is given to you, your tasks are allotted to you, and you have to complete by hook or by crook. 8 टास्क दिए हैं आज दिन भर में ये करने हैं कुछ भी कर लो but as an entrepreneur that is not the case. Your tasks, you have to list them, you have to keep in pace with them. There are some moments when you will find चलो आज 4 घंटे टाइम पास कर लेंगे आज का काम कर लेंगे. There is no one to push you as such because you are the owner of your job. But if you keep pushing your tasks, if you keep pushing your days, then your company would never grow. So persistence is something which you have to maintain as an entrepreneur. That is a major difference which you yourself have created between the employee community and yourself. That employee has to work on the words of his employer, but you are there for yourself as an entrepreneur or the founding team. So if you try to neglect your tasks, then your company would never grow. So first thing is perseverance, persistence. Second, which already we have discussed, that is keeping with your goals in mind. Sometimes there are some opportunities which are great for short term, but very harmful for long term, which drive you away from your focus. That are the times you should always hit with your focus, with your goals. You should always keep with your goals. There will be many opportunities when people will come and try to propose you the things which are not a part of your work or your task or your dream. You should be able to say no to them. Yes, there are some opportunities which come along, which you can manage along with your works. There are some low-hanging fruits. Definitely you should take them. Because survival is definitely necessary. Paisa hai to sab hai. So if you are getting some opportunities, some small opportunities, you should definitely hang on to them. There are many companies which have been working with this culture and growing with this culture. In our domain, at least, if we take example of Pari Robotics, which is a very famous and very grown company as of now. So in initial phase, what Pari was trying to build is they trying to building their own robotics arms, and they are not able to sell them. But that was the point when many people with whom they interacted, they were requesting them or they were telling them, then you bring down some assembly for us, some in-position robots for us. You assemble for them for us in our factory. We'll pay you the commission. And that is something which Pari tried, which Pari scaled, and now they are working in that domain itself. So there are many opportunities which will come along your way. You should be focused on your goal, but you should be keeping pace with the survival. 2 साल पैसा नहीं बना तो भी चलेगा, मैं मेरा गोल अचीव कर लूंगा, ऐसा होता नहीं है. 6 महीने बाद जब घर वाले पैसा मांगना शुरू कर देते, you decide, let us quit this and return back to the routine. So survival is the key of it. You can do anything in your initial 2-3 years until you have a confidence that now I can survive. Business models will keep on changing. There is one term as larger goal, but there are very shorter goals, and that keep on changing, and that should keep on changing. So these are 2-3 things I think if an entrepreneur keeps in mind, he is definitely gonna be successful. And the last thing to add to it, we have not been entrepreneur with some pressure. We have decided that path on our own. So to carry that path or to carry that all the burden, the stress and every part of that journey, is something what we have already decided to do. So there can be different kinds of challenges, there can be trouble positions, there can be anything. But all this journey, we have decided that this will be a part of my life journey. So we should be ready to accept that. Happily, we should be ready to involve it in our daily stuff. And yes, I think you can keep up with the journey.
Thank you. That was really something that we needed, and I'm sure even our founding team has, noted your words and the advices that you've given right now. Thank you so much. And with this, we are with the question that we wanted, and what is the very great pleasure meeting you, and having a small talk with you. And I hope that we catch up again soon.
Perfect. Same from my side. All the best to your team. And entrepreneur, I think that this is the opportunity. As they always mention, this is the Amrut Khan for the nation. And that is something when we have stepped into this journey. We are not different. We are just different as a company. But in terms of this, we are all the similar plan.
How is it today?
So all the best to your team. May you achieve all the endeavors what we have envisioned.
Thank you so much. Did you find any trouble reaching your time? Yes, thank you. Salam India.
Indeed.
That's a surprise because usually he stays